Welcome in. Today on Sportsballogy, we're going to talk some Texas Rangers winning the World Series, the Raiders firing Josh McDaniels, and Michigan firing Connor Stalions for sign stealing.
We're also going to talk about some pranks that sports ballers have pulled on each other and my disappointment in Michigan. Brady's also going to be joining us later on to talk about the wacky world of curling. I can already feel my heart racing.
Curling, yeah.
The curling irons, right? I mean, my hair's not there yet.
Okay. Well, you know.
All right, let's kick tires, right?
You gotta grow it out a little bit.
This week on Sportsballogy.
Yeah! And we're back. All right, guys, welcome in. I'm Joey.
I'm Chris.
And we're going to go ahead and jump right into it with today's sports stories. Right off the bat, we got to acknowledge the fact that the Texas Rangers won the World Series, first World Series in franchise history. Leaving only the Seattle Mariners, Milwaukee Brewers, San Diego Padres, Colorado Rockies, and the Tampa Bay Rays left as the only teams to never raise the World Series trophy.
See, I did the bracket last episode, and I totally forgot the World Series happened.
Yep.
Yeah, like I was doing the bracket, and it didn't even cross my mind that I was doing the World Series.
Well, and we'll get into that and kind of how you did in that, because I don't know that I've ever seen a bracket be more wildly wrong than what yours was. I don't think you got but one, maybe two of them correct.
We'll see. Whatever. Bird teams for the win. So I ain't no bandwagon here.
But yeah, so the Texas Rangers, they would win game one. Oh goodness, excuse me. 5-6. They would lose game two, 9-1, and then go on to win the next three straight. The scores for those were 3-1, 11-7, and then they won the last one in commanding fashion in 5-0. Corey Seager would win the World Series MVP with a ridiculous slash line of a 286 average, 6 home runs, 6 RBIs, 6 total runs. And then my favorite part of the whole thing was when he taunted Alex Bregman of the Houston Astros by saying, "I just got one thing to say. Everybody was wondering what would happen if the Rangers didn't win the World Series. I guess we'll never know." And the reason that he said that was pretty awesome because we had talked about last episode about how the Houston Astros, everything had to essentially fall apart for the Rangers, for the Astros to win the division.
Yeah.
And Alex Bregman of the Houston Astros said, everyone was wondering what would happen if the Astros didn't win the division. I guess we'll never know. And so the Rangers win the World Series, and Corey Seager
I like it. So
snaps
real
back.
quick, because this is always, even when I played baseball, what, 286 average, a .286 average. That means that out of 1,000 bats, 286 times he would get onto base.
Correct, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, even in baseball, you fail, 70% of the time, and you're considered one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah, I didn't. I just quit.
Oh, man. But, yeah, I mean, it was a really fun series to watch. I didn't think that the Diamondbacks would get as far as they did. Yeah. Obviously, you didn't either.
Sure.
But, it was really cool to see two teams that a lot of people didn't expect to be there. Turning it around and actually getting into the World Series was pretty cool to watch.
Yeah.
So now we get to talk about Michigan.
Oh, you mean Michigan?
Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got something to say about them later on.
Yeah. Well, I got a lot to say about them right now. The University of Michigan is currently in the middle of a absolutely giant sign stealing investigation.
Yeah, because even I heard about it a little bit.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's like it takes a lot for because you were actually the one who texted me and was like, "Hey, we have to talk about."
Yeah,
this.
And I'll get into what I was doing on Reddit that day, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah. So one of the analysts for Michigan, his name is Connor Stalions, was essentially.
I love that name.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty cool name. I mean, I don't know why he didn't try to play something, because if he was a player.
Play for the Broncos.
Oh my God! Yes, dude. If he played for the Broncos, look, the preview at their logo.
He is a Bronco. If you're only listening to us, join us on YouTube so you can see this hilarious photo.
Yeah, for real. So essentially, they fired him because what he was doing was, well, I guess I shouldn't say what he was doing. What he suspected of doing.
What he was allegedly doing.
What he was allegedly doing, because let's not get sued here. Covering our bases. So Stalions has been accused of numerous schools of purchasing tickets in his own name, is the part that kills me. In his own name for games of future Michigan opponents. And then transferring them to various friends and acquaintances over the past couple years. Those people were seen in various stadiums, essentially taking cell phone videos or videos with a camera, not of the game but of the opponent sideline,
right.
And getting their signs and then relaying them back to the Michigan coaching staff.
Yeah.
Which sign stealing itself is not illegal.
I mean, didn't Belichick kind of almost get in trouble for that one?
Belichick got in trouble for doing the exact same thing that Michigan is being accused of.
I thought he was using, I heard that just out of the sports loop, I heard that he was using satellites to zoom in on.
No.
High-tech James Bond crap going on. No, this is so funny. Just you just usher your buddies in.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I need you to go in here and you just take pictures. Don't get caught. I'm going to use my name. Don't get caught.
And that's the part that killed me, is that he's using his own name to buy these tickets.
If he would have just given them cash, this would have never been.
Yep.
Allegedly, if he would have just allegedly given them cash.
Allegedly.
If he would just given them alleged cash.
Yeah, and so and so sign stealing, if you do it, where you are on the opposite sideline during the game and you just happen to be able to catch on to what they're trying to do, that's completely legal. But going ahead of time and recording what they're doing is definitely illegal.
Okay, so what's the difference between that and watching them on, let's just say, ESPN, and you see the camera guys shooting line? Do the camera guys know these signals and know not to watch the coaches?
So, I mean, you can oftentimes, when you're watching ESPN, kind of catch a brief glimpse of what is happening, but you're never going to catch a full play call, or at least not enough to understand what the play call is to be able to sign steal.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah. But, with those tapes, you can definitely read formations and kind of figure out things that way. But
I just think that should be part of the game.
Yeah.
I think that should be part of the game, and counterintelligence is also part of your game. Yes, this sign means this, but if I hold it if I put my finger in my ear while I do the sign, it means the opposite of this. And they have to figure all this crap out.
Well, and a lot of times what is happening in college football nowadays is that they'll have 3 or 4 people on the sideline. All of them are calling different plays, and only one of them is correct.
Okay,
and
that's similar.
Yeah,
that's way more elaborate than what I was going with. So
and so one of those is correct. The quarterback supposedly knows which one, based off of which situation, is correct.
Right.
And that's what determines it. But after the whole Belichick thing, now that you brought it up, what they did was they just put a microphone in the quarterback's ear or a speaker in the quarterback's ear where the coach just relays the play to the quarterback, and they don't have that problem in the NFL.
See, when did that start? Because I always thought that was just the thing that they did.
So it really came into prevalence after the whole Belichick thing. It was always kind of there, but yeah, they really started using it for that purpose after the whole Belichick sign stealing thing.
Okay.
But yeah, so I just think that whole situation is hilarious to me. I hope
it's like, I mean, that's the type of crap you would hear on The Dumbest Criminals. Like, dude bought a ticket with his own name to go case the arena beforehand. Like,
yep. Yeah, didn't think that process through very much at all. And so, yeah, Michigan is under fire for that, or Itchigan, as you keep calling it.
Keep calling that.
All right. So over to a little bit more of a serious topic, and something that was really hard to watch, and something that I really hope doesn't happen again. I'm glad that we're having open dialogue about it now. But the NHL and the NHL Players Association are discussing additional player safety, specifically to the wrist and neck area of players after Adam Johnson's death in England. For those of you that don't know, Adam Johnson was playing in England. There was a absolute freak accident where one of the players hit him. They both fell over. The player's skate hit his neck, sliced his neck open, and he passed shortly thereafter. It is one of the dangers of playing hockey. But the biggest discussion now is, how do we protect the players so that this situation doesn't happen again? Definitely prayers are going out to the Adam Johnson family. And, we wish nothing but the best for them. But yeah, so it definitely sparked a whole renewed interest in maybe they have these essentially turtlenecks where the neck part has the same stuff that they use in police bulletproof vests.
Kevlar.
Yeah, Kevlar. And so they have gloves and they have the turtleneck type deals that will protect those players. The NHL still hasn't mandated it yet, but they are discussing that with all the players currently.
And I get that. And not to take away from the death, but has this ever happened before?
To my knowledge, it has happened before, but it is so rare that it does happen. I only know of, I think, 2 other situations where this has happened, and it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
In fact, when Katie brought it up to me, because the day that it happened, Katie was the one who brought it up to me, and I was like, "There's, that's so rare. Like, I don't know that that's true." And so then I had to turn around and go back and do my own research because I was like, it's so rare that it happens. And honestly, looking at how the play happened, I mean, even then, it's still really hard to understand or to comprehend how a situation like that happens.
Well, and I guess more of the point that I was getting at is that too often companies will make a grandstand, like, oh, we put the net guards around them, like, is what they're probably going to do, like this, like it's some huge thing that they've done, and this really didn't do anything to solve anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know in this situation that really could have been, aside from maybe the neck things, but that's why I asked, how often does this happen? How many hits do you see per game? But on the flip side, when I played hockey, irrational as it may be, it was a fear of mine that I was going to fall on the ice and one of my fingers was going to be gone from a skate.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is, like, obviously these players understand the risk that they are signing up for when they sign up to play the game that they love. And even then, I'm wearing a hockey jersey today. It is by far one of my all-time favorite sports. And I love hockey so much. And so ultimately it's one of those things where even if you mandate it, I'm all for player safety. As long as it doesn't affect the game per se.
I just think that I don't want to see the NHL just pay lip service.
Correct.
You know, that's the main thing. Like, hey, we solved the problem, but it didn't really solve the problem, and you never know because it never happens.
Right. And so I think that's why I like that they're talking about it and like discussing it and really trying to find a solution rather than just going out and mandating it and saying, hey, like, okay, this happened, so now you're going to be required to wear these when maybe you haven't done enough research to figure out if they actually work or not.
Right. Right, exactly. And then say, oh, well, this is all that's needed.
Right.
And then it's not what was needed at all, and now we're just going to repeat something later on.
Right.
Yeah.
So hopefully they find a solution and we get back to a situation where we're playing, happy, healthy hockey, and we get to see some wins, and I definitely, again, I wish the best for Adam Johnson and his family, and definitely keep them in our prayers and everything. It's just a bad situation all around. And so we'll keep going in this episode and move on to some football. That's a tough topic, but we're gonna have to tackle those sometimes. So this one I'm pretty excited for, only because of the fact that your history with buyouts and contracts on this show, is great. I love it so much. So the Raiders. God love the Raiders and Josh McDaniels. So the Raiders have fired head coach Josh McDaniels the night after the trade deadline. And let me tell you, they're going to be reaping some financial consequences because they paid that man a lot of money.
Yeah?
Yep. So he signed a 6-year agreement in January of 2022. The deal paid him roughly $10 million per season.
Okay.
So that means that he still has about 4 years left on his contract, which is about $40 million. Now, the thing about the Raiders that absolutely kills me
broke his crap
is John Gruden, the coach before him, was just fired with a buyout like this.
They've got 2 buyouts going on right now?
They've got 2 buyouts going on right now, and Gruden was able to settle his contract with the Raiders and walk away with a reported $60 million. So that means that depending on where his contract negotiations end, the Raiders are going to be paying anywhere from $80 to $100 million to have 2 coaches sit on their couch and not coach the Raiders.
Bro, just tack on another $1 million. You got 3, baby. I'll do it. I will do it for $1 million. It's 1% of what you're already paying, man.
Oh, man.
You get a hat trick of coaches? Yeah.
Dude, and it's crazy because I saw a really funny stat line where that the Raiders have gone through more coaches in the last, however many years than any other NFL franchise. So it would not shock me to find out, if I did a little bit more research, that the Raiders were still paying other coaches.
So, okay, I'm gonna kind of peek behind the curtain here a little bit. So don't do it just yet, Randy. But why were we about to say that he is a sad panda if he's making all this money?
Well, I don't know, because he's out of a job. Honestly.
They took your job. Okay, well, I mean, I guess we went through the effort, put up the pick, Randy. Yes. Yeah. That's him being a sad panda. I was expecting that.
Well, okay, so in the defense of everything, so like Josh McDaniels is one of the best offensive coordinators in all of the NFL.
Why was he fired?
The thing is so because he's the best offensive coordinator, he got hired to be a head coach.
Okay.
Right? But his experience as a head coach is awful because this is his second chance at being a head coach.
Okay,
and the first time around, he got fired as well.
So he got cut from the team.
Yes. He is not a good head coach. He makes a great coordinator. He can call plays. He is one of the best offensive coordinators of all time. He was the offensive coordinator for the Patriots when they went on that run and got 6 Super Bowls.
Okay.
He didn't win all 6 Super Bowls with them, but he was a huge majority of how they got as many as they did. So he's a good coordinator, just a terrible head coach. But yeah, I thought it was funny to kind of talk about the fact that the Raiders are paying 2 coaches $100 million to not coach for them. And I know how you feel about that.
I have very strong feelings about that much money for not working. Yeah.
Yep. So the Raiders will have to figure that out. I don't know, who's going to be the next head coach of the Raiders? I don't.
Me. Raiders, and was it the Mets? Raiders and Mets. I have 2 offers out for you guys. It doesn't matter which team. I'll do both. I'll sit out for both.
You'll do both.
I'll do both. I'll do double duty.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy to me that they spend all this money on coaches that they like. You would think that they would vet.
Would want to at least invest more into them, or vet them first.
Yeah.
Yes. But they're like, hey, I'm going to put $40 million more into you. Why not make that $40 million? At this point, it is a total waste.
Yeah.
It will be to your detriment if he goes to play for another team.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah, part of me gets the cut your losses, but $40 million cutting your losses, that's nothing to sneeze at, man. Like, how much money does this freaking team have?
Well, the Raiders have a lot. They have a lot. But it's just one of those things. It's a crazy concept to me because teams do it all the time.
Yeah.
They fire coaches all the time. And it's just like, and I understand that hiring people isn't always 100% you're going to hire the right guy.
Yeah.
But especially when it comes to the Raiders, they've had, 13 or 14 some odd coaches in the past however many years. Like, obviously you need to pick who's hiring these coaches a little differently because, my God, dude,
I'm gonna pick their coaches. I mean, I'll have a better track record than whoever's doing it now. I promise you that.
Like, my God, you would think that they would do that a little bit better.
You think you just ask them, like, hey, are you gonna suck? No, you're hired. Did they ever think to ask this guy if he was gonna suck?
I have honestly no idea. But with a face like that, I would say that he definitely would. But yeah, so anyways, we're going to take a brief break. And when we come back, we're going to see how Chris did guessing the MLB playoffs. And we're going to talk a little bit about some college rivalries. No,
not necessarily. It's just
rivalries in general.
Well, not even really that. Well, my ADD took over, so
valid.
We'll get into it later.
All right. We'll be right back.
Will virus knock you out this winter? Will your sacroiliac snap out of place in the spring?
Hi guys, it's Chris, Joey, and Randy with Sportsballogy. Have you ever thought to yourself, man, I have money and nothing to throw it at? How about, I'm really tired of owning 15 yachts? Well, how about you put that money to good use and sponsor your own Sportsballogist today? For only insert amount here, you can help protect our Sportsballogists from becoming even more ignorant about what goes on in the world of sports. From basketball, baseball, football, or any balls for that matter, you can make a difference today. Take it away, Chris.
Thanks, Joey. Sports blindness is a serious affliction, but for the same cost as just cups of coffee, you can sponsor a Sportsballogist today. We'll send you a brochure with their birthday and other fun facts while you watch them learn and grow. Look at this puppy. Look at this little kitty. Won't you sponsor a Sportsballogist today?
And break a bone in the fall. And while you moan at home...
money to not do anything.
Oh man, yeah, that is a lot of money to accomplish nothing.
I'll tell you right now, I'm sitting on my ass better than them. I promise. I promise.
Welcome back
Hey.
to Sportsballogy. We're gonna see. Just because looking at this is so funny. It is so funny.
Okay, all right. I want to see because I haven't seen it yet.
All right, so we're gonna start. We're gonna do the same thing that we did last time. Randy, if you want to pull up that bracket for us, we're gonna start. Woohoo! I'm throwing things around. We're gonna start in the top left, and we're just gonna go down.
Bird teams.
Yep. So you picked the bird teams.
Okay, so assume that no bird teams won anything at this point. That's all I've got.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's really funny. So you picked.
You messed up, Randy.
So in that top matchup, you picked the Jays and the Twins.
I didn't pick the Jays and the Twins. I said the Jays were going to win.
So yeah, you picked the Toronto Blue Jays. They lost to the Twins, who ended up winning their first playoff series in a really, really long time. So congratulations to the Twin Cities.
No. No.
And then this one you did get right. You picked Rangers over the Tampa Bay Rays.
I didn't even get the Braves ones right.
They did win that. On the other side of the bracket, hey, you got another one right because you picked the Diamondbacks over the Brewers. They did win, right?
All right.
Then on the bottom of that, you picked the Marlins over the Phillies. That didn't happen. The Phillies beat the Marlins. And so moving over to the middle, it was the Twins versus the Astros. The Astros obviously would go on to win. They would play the Rangers in the ALCS. You picked the Astros to make it, so you did get that one right. And then you picked the Orioles to make it, who got knocked out pretty handily.
Because Texas has a vendetta against bird teams. I'd like to think that Texas has a vendetta against me, and I'm taking this personally.
Well, the Twin Cities knocked out the first bird team.
Whatever, I don't care. Texas is not good.
And then on the other side of that, you had the Diamondbacks playing the Dodgers. Obviously, the Diamondbacks handled the Dodgers, moving on to the NLCS. The Phillies would go on to beat the Braves. And so then you would have the Diamondbacks and the Phillies here. Obviously, we know who won those series, the Diamondbacks and the Rangers.
Oh, I was going to say, do we? Obviously, yes.
And then we had a Diamondbacks-Rangers World Series. And then the Rangers won the series. Congratulations to them yet again. I love the fact that a team that has never won a World Series finally got one.
Yeah, I can get behind that, but it's still jerks. They're still jerks.
I'd love to see some of the other ones get in there. There's 5 others. But yeah, so now we'll head over to your whatever you want to call your segment now.
Yeah, this is just whatever. Chris was ADHD time. All right, so last episode, I talked a bit about the history of the rivalry between Michigan, University of Michigan, and OSU, Ohio State University, right?
Right.
I didn't really talk into like some of the antics that they got into because I was having a little bit of trouble finding them. Turns out that it's actually kind of lame. I was really disappointed in that. There's not really a whole lot. There's like they would jump into a lake. The OSU would jump into a lake. They had to stop that because one kid ended up drowning. So they do kind of like a run. And eventually my ADHD took over, and I just started looking up pranks in general over out in the sports world. And some of them were really funny. And I want to share a couple with you here. So there were 2 of them that were fake interviews. One was on some guy named John Sim. I don't know, but the other one is legendary sports baller Charles Barkley. And both of them they got set up for fake interviews. Now John Sim, his interviewer, was totally unprepared. Like this, he was late. He was disheveled. Like he's fumbling over stuff, and like they didn't. I couldn't find a video for some of these, but they had a picture.
Oh no!
And then you could just see it, his face. He was so disappointed. And I think, like, the way that the story made it sound like his first interview.
Yeah.
Like, he was, like, pumped up.
That's so funny.
Charles Barkley, his interviewer, was Japanese. And so, but apparently the question that he was asking in Japanese still didn't make sense in Japanese. And so Charles Barkley's, like, trying to be a professional.
That's so funny.
There's another guy, Olin Kreutz. I forget what team. I didn't write what team he was on, but he was a rookie that year in 2005, and his teammates had him sign a helmet for their family, and it turns out that it was his own helmet that he was signing.
And so then he had to play a game.
He was going to practice and stuff. Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
Okay, so Mark Cuban, and I'm not going to get into politics, but Mark Cuban actually had a funny one. I wasn't able to find a video on this. It was not as bombastic as it sounds, but it was still funny. So it was on April Fool's Day, right? And Mark is apparently known for having an explosive temper. Okay, and like got into a fight with a ref. Like, started pushing the ref, and the ref was pushing him back.
Yeah.
And, like, started wrestling and stuff like that, and you could hear the crowd, the crowd's going nuts. That was probably my favorite part, was them getting the crowd worked up.
Yeah.
And then the announcer comes on and says it's April Fool's and all that stuff. MIT had a really famous one against Yale and Harvard. I forget which it happened at, but they were able to get onto the field before the game started, and rigged up a device to blow up this balloon, like this weather balloon, and it just kept pumping the weather balloon, and then eventually just popped and deflated, and everybody in the stands like, it was a great time and whatnot. But if you watch that video, when that balloon pops, there's a very obvious white mist that comes out of that balloon. If that happened today, that would cause a stampede.
Oh yeah,
there would be people freaking the F out about that. Like oh my God, it's anthrax! I'm dying! Like,
I'm dying! I don't know what was in it.
Yeah, right. It's like, yeah, but like, and when you watch it, like, even when I saw it happening, it was after 9/11. I was like, oh man, like, whew. Yeah. So if you ever get a chance, watch that video just to see what I'm talking about. The Lakers played a good prank on their teammate Tony Bobbitt. Apparently it was one of his, I think it was a rookie that year, and Lucy Liu was in the audience, and he was right, so he's talking to his teammates, so like, oh man, she's making eyes at me like she totally wants me, man, she wants me. And so his teammates played a prank on him. They had I don't know if one of the assistants, or they had some girl call his number saying that she was Lucy Liu and wanted to meet him at the restaurant. I want to jump his bones, right? And so he gets down to the restaurant, and it's his whole teammates, it's all his teammates, and just laughing and clapping when he walks in. I thought that was great. And then we started getting into, I found a couple where it was school-on-school hazing, I guess, for lack of a better term. So these are kind of fun. UC Berkeley beat Stanford in a football game. And so what Stanford did is, this is 1982, mind you, so it was pre-internet, you know. So what Stanford did is they printed out a bunch of fake newsletters that they had won and distributed them across UC Berkeley's campus.
Oh man,
that's the type of stuff I was looking for.
Yeah.
You know? So then I ended up finding a little bit more where Yale versus Harvard. I forgot to write down who did this against who, but they got the flip cards. Explain to me, how do the flip cards work in the stands? Like, do they have? Because until I was reading this, I just assumed that everybody's like, "Hey, you've got a thing under your card and you are under your seat, and you lift it up, and you're done." But the way that this made it sound like there's instructions, like multi-part instructions for each of those sign flippers. It's like,
I don't know. The only times that I've seen the signs is like when they do it. It really is just you pull it out from under your seat and you hold it up at a certain point.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know why they would have had like multifaceted instructions on how to hold a sign up.
But like, so they did it though, and they got the whole fan on their side to hold up signs and said, "We suck."
Nice.
Right. Probably. It was probably one of the more intricate ones, and it wasn't team-on-team prank, which is what I was really looking for, but I really like this one, just the intricacy that it took for this guy's...
we got a flag on the play. What's our flag this time?
I mean, you got through all of yours without a flag.
I did get through all of mine without a flag. I was impressed.
I was jealous.
When there's a mass group effort, they need instructions to make it happen.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, it was mass group or like, because there was another one where it wasn't as clear on what they did, but like they had like the Huskies or whatever and whatnot.
Yeah, so like the one that I've seen was like Virginia Tech did it, and they were like essentially just on the like back of it. It literally was just like during this time during the third quarter or whatever, or like during the first time out in the third quarter, hold your sign up. So that's more of what I meant of just like there's not a whole lot to it other than like. Yeah, just, this is when to hold your sign up. And then
they could have done that then.
Yeah.
And just like multiple part, just replace those instructions for the.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Kyle Kendrick and I should have done better about writing down team names. But Kyle Kendrick is a baseball player, and his team and his coaches and presumably everybody else that he talked to convinced him that they were trading him to Japan.
Oh God, I think I've seen this.
Yeah, like he was so cool with it. He was like, okay. But those are the pranks that I like. The non-harmful ones. That's kind of funny type stuff. I don't know. So as far as what I was talking about earlier about OSU and Michigan here is that when I went on Reddit to ask. OSU, like, hey, your game's coming up. I've got this show. I just wanted, just tell me about it. And OSU told me, fans told me a little bit about the jumping in the lake. They do a run. I'm sorry, guys. I told you I'd post it, and I will, but I forgot what the run was called. Michigan just didn't respond.
Yes, sounds about right.
And we were talking about it earlier, and when you were saying that OSU is just, like, rabid about hating Michigan, and Michigan is just like, whatever.
Yep.
We're going to look down our noses at you. We're going to poach your players and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. I was in search of hilarious into the nerd level school antics.
Yeah, I mean,
what I found was OSU just being petty and taking the M's. Now, if you guys go to University of Michigan and remove all the M's from their campus. Dude, that's A+ in my book.
Yeah.
But you're just being petty on your own campus. Who cares?
Right. Yeah. And that's more so, kind of what we had talked about before was just like, Michigan is all hoity-toity about Ohio State. They don't talk about them. They don't acknowledge them. Yeah. And Ohio State freaking hates Michigan. Cannot stand Michigan.
Yeah.
We were talking about like the Ohio State band, how like whenever they would pull the Michigan flag out, how they would all have to wear gloves, and then whenever they were done touching the flag, the gloves got burned.
Yeah, they burned the gloves.
Yeah. And like a lot of that is just like petty. Like it's just like, okay, come on now. Like the flag isn't actually going to do anything to you. And so I mean there's a lot of that. And that's more so probably what you'll get in a lot of like college sports. I really only know about Virginia Tech ones because that's, where I spend most of my time, but like I like Georgia Tech stole the T outside of Lane Stadium once, because it was the Battle of the Techs, and so they stole the T. I do know that Virginia Tech one time broke into UVA Stadium and painted the T attached to the V.
Right. Well, that's because UVA is just a V,
right?
And Virginia Tech is VT, so Tech just added the T to theirs. Yeah.
Yep. So just stuff like that.
But that's what I was looking for. But I will say, due to the responses on Reddit between the two, I will not denigrate OSU. I will call you Ohio State University. But my original plan was I was going to call you an Ohio college. But I'm not going to do that, but I will still call Michigan.
Yeah, because, I mean, good Lord. Come on, guys, respond!
Right? OSU, your 3 Redditors saved you from me.
Right? All right, guys, we're going to take a brief intermission. Again, we'll be right back. When we come back, we're going to summon our producer to talk about the magical world of curling. Curling irons?
What?
Curling?
Stones?
Wait, hold on. Are we sweeping? Are we? No. What?
Who? Randy, take us out.
We'll be back.
in the hospital, who will help pay the butcher?
Leads us on to our second focus point, the role of our hands. Now we're going to adopt one of two positions. The first is the W position. Thumbs together, palms facing up in order to make a W. We use the W position when we track the ball and think it's going to arrive above our chest. The second is the N position. Use the fingers together, palms facing down in order to make an N.
Did you know you're supposed to make a W when you catch?
It's important to keep your hands held up, hands soft, so that when the ball does touch your palms, you can grasp the ball, give it a big hug to make sure that it stays in your hands. Launch speed angle again. Here we can see
Fading in here in just a second. Whoa! Where did I come from? Oh my god! Oh! We had an echoing problem before. We have an echoing problem now. What's up, baby? It's me. How's everyone doing?
We vibing, dog. How are you?
Living life, kicking butt, producing this show in the background. I forgot to get rid of my banner, so that's kind of funny. No, we're keeping it. How dare you diss curling? Let's go. I have become a recent curling fan as of the last couple of days. Curling's dope. I'm like totally in. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah,
Like,
tell us
I don't know. Like, what, I just wanted. I don't know. Like, actually, no. This part of the show is where I don't bring you in anymore. I just tell you how dope curling is.
Yeah, like,
You'll just gotta sit there and learn nothing.
I love it so much.
I'm telling you. No, okay. So curling. Let's get started on some weird sports. And not to call curling a weird sport. It actually is a much more intelligent sport than I realized first
the
off.
stone and the broom and ice.
That's what it is, like high key, but it's like
I know.
it's super cool. I love it. Curling started in Scotland apparently, but it blew up immediately. Like the moment it started, apparently, like people immediately liked the idea out of pretty much all of what's now called the United Kingdom, and it spread throughout Europe, and from there just blew up immediately. Right? What you got is you have two teams who go 10 ends against each other, an end meaning round. And they what they do is they take a 44-pound curling stone or curling rock and they slide it across the ice towards a 4-ringed circle, right? So imagine a dartboard.
Yeah.
So they take basically they're sliding these big stones across a bunch of pebbled ice towards the dartboard, right?
Right.
So check this out. Wow, my notes really don't help me with a really cool reveal on this. You ready? The whole big 4-ring thing, it's called a house. And the middle thing is called a button, right? So imagine you're throwing rocks at a house and you hit a button. Yeah, that means you're pretty accurate. Holy crap. Especially if someone's attached to that button. That's what I call a crazy Halloween egging. Holy moly.
See, this is what makes me glad that I didn't live back in the day, because this is what they were like. This is like the rage back in the day.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, nothing against them, but I like my Xbox, not gonna lie.
I feel you. And actually, okay, so I have a weird thing to like continue with that with. So they called curling chess on ice, right? And it's because there's actually a lot of like strategical movements you have to make and how you line up your team and stuff. And I feel like Xbox, especially in games that require a bit of strategy, get the same fulfilling feeling I get when I watch curling. It's kind of a weird like thing compared to most sports.
So can you explain the rules of curling?
Yeah. Well, of course. So to scorn curling, right? So you have your house, and you have the button in the middle of it. Whoever has a stone closest to the button gets 1 point, right?
Okay.
Now let's say you have let's say you have 3 stones closer to the button than any of your opponent's stones. You'll get 3 points, right? Because you have the middle stone closest to the button, and then stones outside of it that are still closer than your opponent, right?
Right.
Okay.
Let's say your opponent instead has one between those two stones, and it's, your stone, an opponent's stone, and two stones behind it.
You get 1 point.
You would get 1 point because there's a stone between the two.
Okay. All right.
Right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Am I allowed to aim at my opponent's stones?
yeah, knock them out of the thing.
Okay.
Yes. In fact, like a strategy
aim
is
at my
built
opponent?
around that. Sorry, you had a question?
Yeah, can I aim at my opponents?
Well, of course, but if you can pick up that 44-pound stone and chuck it anywhere close to them,
That thing is
you should be a
44
shot
pounds.
thrower, not a curler.
Anywhere. I just need to drop it on their foot.
That's true. You could drop it on their foot. I wonder what that. Oh, dang, that would hurt
That would
so
hurt.
bad.
That would
44
hurt
pounds?
so bad.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, it cross your foot.
That'd be like dropping a newborn baby on your foot. I know that's a weird size
would be
comparison now that I say it out loud, but like,
Just saying. Yeah, I just picked up a
But I
48-pound pack of food
I also
about
think
died.
that babies, on the whole, are softer than rocks.
That's fair. I
I guess it is denser, so that'd be even weird. I don't know. Yo,
Why
if you
is
drop.
this the comparison?
No, if you drop 100 pounds of feathers or 100 pounds of bricks on your foot, I feel like it'd feel the same either way.
Ish. The feathers are going to have more give.
True.
It's going to be like
True.
it's going to be cushion. Yeah, it's going to
See,
weigh this
this
thing.
is the important curling questions people need to know.
This is what sportsballogy is all about.
Gosh darn it. Y'all haven't been
Oh,
speculating
God.
enough. No, okay. So you mentioned hitting players' stones out of the way, right?
Yeah.
This is where that chess aspect comes in because it actually is like really thought out. So most teams consist of about 4 players and they kind of rotate positions. Some people sweep, and then there's a thrower, and then there's a person who kind of gives instruction to line up the best shot, right? And the first person is the person they're called the first, quite literally, and in fact, all of them are the first, the second, and so on. Okay. But the first is the most accurate player. They always are, or typically are. They are able to hit the button every single time. And they can give the sweepers the perfect instructions to hit the button. It's like, hey, sweep, sweep, sweep. I nailed that. We're good. They are always trying to get the closest.
Right.
The second afterwards has the job of putting stones a little bit short. They don't want to put it towards the button because they already have their score right there, right? So the second wants to build a wall around this group of people.
Let's back up a sec. Does each player only get 1 throw?
They get 2. Thank you for stopping me. I actually I meant to say that. I totally forgot about it. But so the first will get 2 stones and they rotate back and forth.
How many players per
two
team?
teams.
I thought it was 4.
4. So
Okay.
it's 8 stones thrown in an end.
Okay, got it.
That makes sense. Yeah. So you get essentially 8 throws around. Each person goes once, and then they go a second time.
And they go a second time back to back. So team, you know what I mean?
Okay,
the first
gotcha.
goes on this team, then it goes this team, first again. Now we're on the second.
Gotcha.
And the second.
Okay.
No, I'm glad you stopped me. I actually forgot to write that in my notes. The second builds a wall around the group, right? So the firsts are super accurate, so the second wants to build that defense. And especially if you're on the winning team as far as like closeness goes, you want to build that solid wall so you have someone who can do that for you, right?
Yeah.
After that, the third comes in. And the third is usually like one of those like the smart types, you know what I mean? They're the strategists.
Donatello joins the party.
Yeah. No, like they're the ones who like see all this wall and they see what's going on and they're like, okay, if I bounce this rock out of the way this way and this one out of the way this way, we're gonna have a very successful end of this, right?
Right.
That's where the fourth comes in. Fourth is typically the team leader. Like they're the God, I was about to make a Ninja Turtles reference and I am gonna look stupid if I don't get this. Donatello's the leader, right?
No!
See, I'm dumb. See, I knew I had that wrong. I'm dumb as shit.
Leonardo! Come on!
Oh my
man.
God, I look so dumb for that.
I don't know.
I just embarrassed myself online. Oh no, not again.
Oh man!
You're the first person to ever do that, Randy.
Oh no. No, okay, Leonardo then. I am so dumb for that shit. But fourth is Leonardo in this case, right? And they're also called the skip instead of the fourth, ironically. And the skip is the one who's just like, whatever's left, the third has come in, wrecked the wall. They might have a point in there. The second had built that wall and they have to work on their other team members. The skip is the one who wants to score the most points right at the end. So they know the strategy, they have the throwing skill, or I think it's called a curling skill now that I think about it.
Why
It's
am
not
I
throwing at all.
skips then?
Hey man, like
Yeah, the skip is like the crucial member in this. In fact, I watched a bunch of Olympic videos afterwards, and it was very clear the skip is super important. Like that final play is what happens, and the skip is the one to make that happen.
I feel like I clearly need to go back and watch curling.
So I was about to say, Randy, did you see the Olympic? I think it was the U.S. men's curling team from several years ago that dressed up like a bunch of soccer dads.
Yeah, I did. I did a little bit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're talking with. What was that in association with?
I don't remember. I
don't know if they did it on
about it this last past couple of weeks about when I was looking at my stuff.
Yeah. I don't think they did it on purpose. I think it just happened.
No, I think they did it on purpose.
Did they? Because that it was funny regardless.
Yeah.
Admittedly,
they went viral for for a long time.
Yeah.
It's probably a Halloween thing, maybe, if I were to guess. But admittedly, a lot of the style in curling is very posh. Not to put it that way, but that is actually something I like about curling too. Is that when they call it the chess of ice. That is actually taken very seriously. A lot of the people are dressed very intellectually. It's not as much of a sport as it is a thinking game that has a physicality to it,
Right.
No, that's valid. Yeah, I just thought it was funny that they were all wearing white New Balances and khakis.
It kind of is. I mean, in that case, obviously they were playing into it, and I love that. You know what I mean? I did see a little bit, but I guess I should have done a little bit of research. No, so I mentioned ends, right? So ends consist of these 8 shots. A game consists of 10 ends, which actually makes games pretty long. I watched one full way through just to have a little bit of expertise and know what I was talking about with this, right? They're about 3 hours. In 3 hours is actually usually dead on.
If you've got 80 shots per game per team,
yeah,
and if it takes 1 minute, that's 160 minutes just on that.
Yeah.
Actually, there's something funny you mentioned that a team has 72 minutes per end to get their shots off, right?
Oh my god! So they each team this thing could take 720 minutes twice.
Between the two teams.
Oh man!
Well, it's because it's strategic.
40 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm ready to riot.
No, and that's while I feel you. Actually, there's something really intense and nice watching curling with that break in time where you can see the teams literally looking at the field and thinking about this. How are we going to make this happen?
That is literally 24 hours.
They have 24 hours.
A game could last 24 hours.
They usually go for 3. I might have the 72-minute thing wrong.
They could last for 24 hours.
That's crazy.
Dude, you know what?
In fact, actually, hold on.
Crap, I was talking about my last thing about the rules for football.
Yeah.
About how there was no possession, so they just ran out the clock. What if a curling team did that? They just ran out the clock to the other team.
No, actually, I just thought about it. I have this wrong. Clearly, based on what you're saying, you're correct. It must be 72 minutes between the match, so all 10 of them. Now that you say that out loud, because that would be a minute per thrower or so.
Yeah, 80 minutes would be a minute per throw.
That makes okay. All podcast listeners, I am so sorry. I walked into curling literally this week, so if I got these details, I'm right with you. I'm just trying to learn for you.
Just go in the comment section and tell us how we got it wrong.
Yeah, for real.
Again, I'm learning too. I want to be a fan of curling, and this actually was a great experience. But yes, 72 minutes for the 10. Now that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
That being said, the final person per round is called the hammer, right? Or per end.
Yep. Oh, per end. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So let's say you're the person who gets to throw at the finale of the end, right?
Right.
So there's 2 rules about how that works that makes it a bit more interesting. if people have points on the board, as the end, you would want to hit right towards the board and try to make the best score for yourself. And at the end of that round, or at the end of that end, you would transfer the hammer to the other team, right? So each team would get alternate points based on if someone scored, right?
Right.
But in a 0-score scenario where neither team has anything in the house, the hammer might just throw their hammer away, because if you do and there's no score, you get to keep it into the next round.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
If that makes sense. So like
No,
let's say
yeah.
Like if one team has like 1 point and you're the hammer and you knock them out for that 1 point and steal the point, like that's an effective gameplay decision.
Right.
But let's say you're about to score 0 and they have 1 there, and your team is up by like 4, right? You could throw that hammer away and you're going to get it next round.
Yeah.
As long as you score 0.
All right. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's a strategic part of the game. It actually adds a lot because, if there's nothing on the board, why would you want to score continuously?
Right.
If you have to give up that end piece.
Yeah.
Not only that, there were actually a bunch of little tiny rules that made a lot of this really cool. There's also burners. So we brought up the sweepers before. Sweepers, the ice that they play on is pebbled, right? So it's not like smooth ice like you would skate on. It has like little dents in it.
Yeah.
And what the sweepers are made to do is sweep those dents out of the way so there's less friction for the stone to hit the house, right? But the one rule that's really important when it comes to sweeping is burning a stone. So if your broom touches a stone, it burns that stone. And the opposite team can either let the stone lie where it is. Let's say they burn the stone and it doesn't get anywhere, right? They can just leave it there, especially if it helps for the wall to keep their score going.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you keep it? Might as well.
Right.
Or if it is closer, they can reject that stone and get it out of play.
Okay. All right. I see the strategy there.
Yeah, so sweepers not only have to worry about the friction of getting that stone perfectly where it needs to go, but they also have the worry of hitting the stone, because if you hit the stone, you've burnt it, and that's screwed.
What if you somehow touch one of your other stones that was thrown previously?
That's fine, especially because they're 44 pounds. That's actually something I really like about that. Is there seems to be a bit of looseness around that part of it, because at the end of the day,
I guess you're not
tapping your
making
stone with a broom,
Yeah.
it's a 44-pound stone, so it's not that easy just to tap it and move it,
Yeah,
Right.
I guess that's
If
true,
it was like a pool ball, that's a different situation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So that's actually where that helps with the next rule, which would be measure. So they have something where you can literally call a challenge on the play, or a measure, where you have someone come out and physically measure how far each stone is from the center. Because sometimes, even with the ring, something might look a certain way, but with a measure, it's different, It's not as easy as just looking at it sometimes.
Well, yeah, because you're going based off of diameter, and it's not like a straight shot. It's the circle.
Yeah.
So you could have one that's maybe looks a little bit further away, but in all reality could be a millimeter or two closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially with this being a circle stone on a circle target, there's a lot of weird factors that can come into play, just the angle of where your stone is at compared to another.
Right.
Gets a little weird. It makes it a lot more interesting. The other rules I have written down are conceding, right? And conceding is something that's totally allowed. After the 6th end, or in the 6th end, if your team is just getting destroyed, you're 0 to 12, for example, you can just concede. At N6, if there's just no chance, you can just bail.
I feel like you can just do that at any point. You're not being held there at gunpoint.
That's fair. I guess other sports, it's not really a rule in a way. It's not something that you can specifically do. But this would be considered more of the equivalent of
The slaughter rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, or when like you play uncle with your cousin, and you're like trying to twist the other person's wrist and you're going against each other. I used to call that uncle. I don't know what people call it in Virginia, I guess, but
abuse, I think.
Abuse.
yeah, abuse. So when you're abusing someone and like testing your wrist strength against each other, conceding would be the guy who's like, I'm out of this, I'm done.
I'm done being abused.
Yeah, idiot. I'm just
So funny.
This is a personal statement to all abuse victims. We are on your side, and we hope you get safety. That being all said, the last rule I had written was a time clock, and I literally explained that. So look at that, me being so good with my notes.
The world of curling.
All right, well, Randy, since you're in charge of this next segment, why don't you take us to break and explain what's happening?
Take us to break. Okay.
Electric light maker.
Are you sure we should do that? Are you sure we should do that? I said, are you sure we should do that? Are you
Oh, now look at what you've done.
You've awakened the fun. You've awakened the fun. You've awakened the fun. You've awakened the fun.
Are you sure we should do that?
You've awakened the fun.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I
All
gotta
right, we're
stay for
back.
this one.
So what's going to happen right now is Randy is going to give us a team name, and we're going to have to draw. Joey and I are going to have to draw what we think that logo would look like based solely off of the team name.
Yep.
For those of y'all worried about editing and everything, don't worry. This is going to be sped up both in the audio and the video because I love editing, everybody. It's my favorite thing to do
You guys don't want to
on
sit
Earth.
for 20 minutes and
always.
watch us draw?
Oh, heck yeah. Y'all want to... Actually, if you do, I'll edit an extended cut for the YouTube.
Like timelines, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do
No,
like the sped up and the real one, so you can sit here with me and watch them.
All right.
No, I think we should put a timer on it. Like, what do you
agree.
think? Like 2 minutes?
Give us a 30-second
No,
timer.
I'll
30,
give you
30 seconds?
Give us a
I'll give you
45-second timer.
45 seconds.
No, I'm down for actually 2 minutes. Sounds fine.
2 minutes.
That seems like a
Trust
lot.
me when I say I picked.
Let's meet in the middle.
say a
Do
minute.
60
I picked hard names. Okay.
60
I'm sorry.
seconds. It's gonna be fun.
A minute and a half. I'll meet you in the middle.
All right.
Ah,
This is
right.
the second middle, but okay.
It was the second middle, but it's cool.
Yeah. I'm like Summer from Rick and Morty. I make my own rules.
Valid.
I'm not allowed to say what.
Okay. Well, fair enough. All right. Yeah. What's our first team name, sir?
The first team name is and this is all I have. I kid you not. It's Los Turnos.
Lost Turner, spell it.
What?
Los
Can you use it in a
Turnos.
sentence?
Can you use it in a
It's Spanish. LAS space TURNAS. Los Turnos is bueno.
Lost
You have 90 seconds. Go, Chris. What are you doing?
SNL Bibliotech.
bibliotech?
You're the one who wanted 90 seconds, okay? If you wanted time to figure it out, I offered it.
Nope. Nope.
It's
I'm
Lost
gonna say right
Turnos
now-
time.
I'll tell you right now, if you ever had to pick a favorite artist of mine based solely on my drawings, it would be Picasso.
Picasso. Oh, yeah. I mean, Picasso's dope. I actually have Picasso hanging up behind me in this scene right now. In fact, 2 of them. That's cool. Picasso's great.
Okay, what was it? Oh, I lost. What?
Lost Turnos. You have 40
Oh my
seconds.
God, I have no idea what, like, it's the,
You're the one who gave yourself 90 seconds. I was giving you more time.
no, next time in English.
I guess
No.
we didn't specify that.
We did.
Yeah, you told me to give you a team name. But how am I going to give you an English team name that you might not know? That's the problem. I had to like dig for this.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily like high school team name or college team name or just something. Like he
My
was saying
next one
earlier
is
today,
a high school name too, so I hate that you just said
Well,
that.
and like what I was saying was like,
if we weren't from Virginia and you told
You
us,
have 3 seconds.
I'm drawing.
I think I'm done.
I
I
can't do anything else.
I don't know what else.
All right.
Yeah,
All right. So
it's all yours. All right.
I'm going to give y'all the spotlight, and I'm going to describe both of yours. Joe, you get to go first.
Okay, I got this. I don't know.
So
Maybe it's
it was Lost Turnos, by the way, not Los Turnos, but we're good.
Hold on.
No,
I
you're
can fix it.
good. You're good.
I can
So
fix it.
Joe has
fix
a
it.
nice. It looks like a what are those soft-shelled turtles without the long nose?
I don't know.
It looks like a turtle with a soft shell on the back, and it's got a cute little head, and that's what he thinks Lost Turnos looks like.
Yeah.
It's got 4 little cute feet. They're all B's, which I think is really funny. The feet of this turtle are all the letter B, so he's
I
gonna
don't know,
live
man.
with
I was making it
the
up
B
as
letter.
I went.
It's all good. It is what it is. No, that's Joe's interpretation of Lost Turnos. And now we got Chris here.
Jeez. I assume turnip is a turnip.
I don't know.
Oh, that's actually closer. Heck, get it, Chris. Chris is much toner. Chris is much closer. So Chris has a turnip, and it definitely looks like a turnip. I'll give him that fully. The farmer standing next to the turnip, we're going to talk about stick figures for a minute. His neck isn't attached to his torso, which is concerning, but I do like, I think he's holding the turnip, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, it zoomed in on his hand. This is a zoomed in enhanced picture.
While I don't see the hand on the bigger zoomed in photo, I see the artistic vision and I can respect it. Chris, technically speaking, is closer than Joe.
Hey, I tried. All right.
What is the Lost Turnips? Because I just looked it up and I couldn't find it.
It is a lumberjack cactus image.
Oh my God, it's so much better.
For those
than
listening-
anything I could have thought.
Like that's not Cactus Jack, man. That's Jack the Cactus.
That
No,
is-
that's like a cactus making the muscles.
That's so much. So what
I
does that
feel-
even mean in English?
I don't know. That's actually I'm gonna look this up on Google Translate as we speak
That's what
because
I was
I'm
doing.
so good at researching before we do this podcast because I'm great like that.
Hey,
Las Turnas. Let's
He's the one who
turn.
has the most accurate, or he is the one who has the accurate spelling.
So Las Turnas means let's turn. I also just realized
Turns.
how dare you
Yeah,
just curling
the
is still on
turns.
the bottom.
like so I don't.
Let's turn, baby.
Hey, if somebody out there knows what Lost Turnips means, please tell us. We are
I know.
we are hopeless gringos right now.
Right?
Please, you don't understand. I don't understand, quite literally.
Oh God! All right, what's next?
Okay, the second one, I think you're going to like this one a bit more. We are talking about the Scottsdale CC Fighting Artichokes.
Oh God! I don't
The
even know what an
Scottsdale-
artichoke is. I mean, I know.
You know what an artichoke is? Artichoke. Oh, no. Don't look at the screen. I screwed up, and they didn't see crap.
I
They didn't
guess
see
not.
anything.
That looks like a sperm. I'm restarting.
Chris
don't-
thinks about artichokes and draws what now?
Choking sperm. Shut up.
See, this is why you keep me in the ticker.
think. Can I use my turnip design?
What?
Can I use my turnip design for the artichoke?
Are you going to redesign the turnip? Yes, please.
I'm wanting
Please.
to. This is just not working out for me right now. I'm having.
He just it's the same turnip drawing, just with like leaves.
Shut up.
I don't know how to draw hands.
Guys, it's. Oh, I didn't start the timer, so you have extra
Thank
time.
you.
This is hilarious, by the way. For those of you who aren't watching on video, I understand, and it's okay. Our game today is a bit more video oriented, so I hope you are enjoying yourselves as far as the audio goes for this ridiculous situation that I have placed these two in. With the Scottsdale CC fighting artichokes. You guys have 60 seconds still.
I thought I knew like what words meant.
I don't know, man.
Oh my god!
Remember, it's a
I
CC
might be the
fighting
best.
artichoke, by the way.
What?
It is a CC fighting artichoke. You have to remember that. Like CC could mean anything.
Crowd control fighting artichoke.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh God, that gets a little political here today on Sportsballogy. Oh no.
Use the video game term. Crowd control.
You have 30 seconds.
You have 30 seconds. I
I
don't
do.
even know where to go
You're
with
not kidding. I literally do. And you do too. Here on Disney Channel. Y'all hear that drawing on the audio? Yeah, that's right. I kept that just for you.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
We got 4 seconds.
I don't care. It's not
I'm
going to help.
good. Yeah, I'm good.
I think I put Chris on first because that's just, I put Joe on last. And wait, do I show y'all first? Is that how we do this?
I don't know. I love this game though. I want to play this more. I can't wait till he edits some weird music in the background. You know?
So I'll show it first, and actually no, I showed the actual one last time.
Show what an artichoke is.
No, I don't have an artichoke slide. We should have thought of this before,
Okay, hold on. An
Chris.
artichoke. Okay, am I wrong? But an artichoke to me, I think is like a lettuce.
It's like a root vegetable, almost like a
Isn't it
carrot.
like
I thought.
Is it a carrot or is it like a lettuce?
I'm just gonna keep it real. Based on the logo, it looks like a weed nug.
Okay. Okay. My suddenly looking at the
Chris is like, hey, we got something working here. Let's go. What the hell? Yeah. Oh my God. Chris is ridiculously close, actually. What the hell? Okay. So Chris's looks like a T-bone steak is ready to attack you. That's the best description I have for our audio people out there. This T-bone steak is about to beat you into submission. And that's what Chris's logo looks like. Which for a 90, more like 120-second drawing, pretty solid. Pretty solid. Credit where credit's due. Chris definitely beat Joe twice as far as I'm aware. If that's
You haven't even seen mine!
is yours close to that? Because if not, Chris won, dude. All right, we're gonna get to Joe. Let's get to Joe. Maybe I'm underestimating and they tied. In which case, I have to
I
find
thought it was a lettuce, so I kind of
Damn.
a lettuce.
No, okay, time out. Okay. So while Chris
Give him a riot shield.
Chris's is more accurate in the fighting spirit of this. I'm just gonna keep it. No, that being said, yours is good.
Yours
The
is way
speech
more
bubble that's involved in it. What does that speech bubble say? You have to tell that for
help
people.
me because I didn't know what to do.
Help it. Okay, the help me speech bubble's good. It is also surprisingly accurate. Joe's is more tiered. His has a bunch of little diamonds showing the little lettuce leaves, which is more accurate to the design. That being said, I think overall, Chris's catches the spirit of this one. So here is the original.
Oh,
come on! You're telling me mine doesn't look like that?
I think Joe's has that.
Come
You
on!
think so?
Joe's
He has the layers. I'll give him that.
on.
Joe has layers.
on.
Hold on, let me pull up Joe. Oh, that's Chris. Hi, Chris.
Come on!
Why is it not doing what I wanted to do on the video? Well, I would say I see your point. Oh, I can do it this way. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone on video can see this. Those, yeah. Oh, the shield is the thing that gets me. Okay, dang it! I gotta play
Hair, man,
Chris's.
like,
Here's Chris.
I think I got the facial expression maybe, but
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like Chris nailed the face on that.
I don't know. I was thinking it was like lettuce. That was
no.
kind of what I was getting at.
Okay,
So I drew a round of lettuce. That's what I drew.
I drew a legally distinct turnip.
Okay, so based on what we're doing here, right? I think I'm going Chris is the overall winner because I think you tied on the last one because like you both have a point, but Chris won the first one.
Fair enough.
All right.
So
Fair
Chris
enough.
barely snuck this one through.
Except for my bracket.
I need a rematch. We're gonna need to do this game
We're
again.
definitely doing that again.
I like describing those two. That was funny.
Yeah.
Randy with the play-by-play.
Right with the play.
For those of you who are just joining our podcast or have been listening for a while, we're experimenting. We're doing a little bit of new stuff, so I hope you enjoy our experimenting. We'll probably have a solid formula as this thing goes on. But for the record, I love doing this with these guys. This is super cool. And I hope you guys enjoy it too.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please.
I heard practice saying that way it didn't sound weird.
Yeah, valid.
Please like and subscribe.
Please. Just get your weight betting gaze.
Please do it.
Throw that slide up and we'll do the ad read.
Oh, God, I forgot about the slide. No. I'm too lazy for this. What are you doing to me? Oh, I was picking my ear live on camera. Y'all are welcome for
All right,
that.
so this is the hammer. This is the end.
All right, who wants to take a shot at
Here we
it?
go. Find us on Facebook at Legacy Maker Sports Network. X, formerly known as Twitter, currently still known as Twitter, at Legacy Maker SPN. Take a rest.
Oh, God. Instagram at Legacy Maker Sports, YouTube, LinkedIn, and TikTok, all at that same spot. And check out legacymakersports.com. Oh, goodness gracious. Or follow just Sportsballogy on YouTube.
See, that's
Either
the preferable
one.
ones. Yeah, I like that.
Either
way
one
easier.
works.
Can I read the
Lord.
final thing on this sheet that the people listening in audio can't see? I'm going to read the
Sure.
final words right here. You ready?
Okay.
Where to find us.
What?
It's right on the sheet. It says where to find us. It's the only unread text I had to represent. I'm sorry.
Oh, good God. All right, well.
Chris,
Oh,
get it. We're ending on that. Chris, get it.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Catch y'all.
Bye, everybody.
All right, Chris. Let's try this one more time.